student, welcome to the Computer Aided Design class. One of the tools that is going to aid us in executing the task that will be given to us in terms of textile design happens to be CorelDraw. And to know much about it, we need to understand the platform with regards to the interface. Thank you very much for being a part of this class. Let's go to the platform. Okay, so if you launch CorelDraw now, what is going to happen is that we have so many things happening here, right? We have to, if you come up here and follow the hand, you see that there's a new document. It means that you're going to have a new page on which you're going to do a brand new work altogether. And when you come to open, it means you have already an existing work which is there and you would want to have access to it. That is where you go to open document. And then when you come to new templates or new from templates, it means there are works that has been templates which are there that could aid you into, getting to know much about CorelDraw with regards to works which are already existing. You can change some few things in there and then work around it. But then today what we're going to do is that we need a very new document altogether. And so in opening the interface, this is where you need to come so that you get access to your workspace. So let's click here, and then you see create a new document. It means you're going to create a brand new document. And so first you have a name. Now the name, that's the file name, the document name that you would want to save. I would want to save it chance, so that anytime I want that chance document, I can have access to it. And then we have presets, right? So you're not going to go there. Now the number of pages that you want to have, to this where you have access to it. So, but then you can also go and do it on the platform. So if I want 2 pages, 3 pages, 4 pages, the number of pages that I want, perhaps that's where I get to do that, right? And then we have primary color mode. Now we have CMYK and RGB. Now when we get to the color section, perhaps we'll be delving deep into that one. But basically CMYK is cyan, magenta, yellow, and then the K is for black, while the RGB is red, green, and blue. Normally the CMYK is when you want to print any hard copy of the design that you've done. The printer recognizes this color code. While this one, the RGB, is when you don't want to print it out, but you want the screens to recognize it as such. This is where the RGB is relevant. But then I'll go for the RGB since you'll be viewing the thing on the screen whilst you design. Now we have a page size. Now the page size happens to be the paper on which you want to print. What kind of paper do you want to print? Is it A4? Is it whatever paper that, is it envelope or what have you? This is where you come and then you select it here. They are all here. So the thing, what you need to do is to pick a letter. Letter is more or less like an A4 sheet, or you can even go for A4 sheet, since that is what we'll be working with for now. And here you have the units here. The unit here. Yes, you've got the unit there. You click and then you see so many units out. You have inches, millimeters, pickers, point, pixels, centimeters, dots, and what have you. But in this case, perhaps we'll be working with centimeters. And immediately you click, the width and then the height of the sheet on which you're going to work and then print out will change. But also you can customize as to what kind of a sheet you would want to use, the size. Even if you want to print a banner size, you can just punch in the size. If you know the size in centimeters or in meters or in feet, all that you need to do is change it here and then come and type the size that you want here. Change the unit, come and change the size that you want here. Also, the orientation, do you want it in a portrait form or you want it in a landscape? this is where you do it. In textiles, most often we do it in landscape, so I'll pick the landscape. And then the resolution. Normally, CorelDraw is resolution independent. If we say resolution independent, it doesn't basically make use of a resolution. But then, in essence, it does make use of three things. And so, resolution is also important. You know, Corel is basically a drawing tool. It's a vector-based tool, and so wherever you stretch it, it doesn't affect the resolution actually, except when it is in a picture form. When you are working on a picture on CorelDraw, that is where it affects it. And so one thing you have to know is resolution affects the quality of the pixel, right? And so this is where resolution becomes very, very important. When it is a bitmap kind of an image, or should I say it's in an image form. When it's drawn, then it is resolution independent. But when it is in an image form, then it is very, very important for it is dependent on the resolution, and that quality of that image is this is where we get to alter it. The higher the resolution, the higher the quality of a picture. And so when you are done, you come and click OK, and then it takes you back to the page that you are working now. When you come here, up here, the first bar you see over here is called title bar. You can see they've written CorelDraw 2021 64 bits and then chant. You quite remember we changed the name of the file or the document to chant instead of title 1. We changed it to chant. Now the 64 bit happens to be the operating system that I'm working with. It's in 64 and we have 32 bits. So it is an indicative of the kind of operating system I'm using as of now. And also CorelDraw happens to be the software, and then the version 2021 is what I'm using. Now when you come here, we have what we call the second bar here. Up here is called the menu bar because it has certain commands hidden in there. The moment you click on each, the file, the edit, the view, the layout, each of them, immediately you click and hold, there will be a drop down. On that drop down, you will see a list of commands that is going to aid you in executing your work. So each one of it has a list of commands inside it, in which when you click and then hold, it drops down and gives you or avail the list of commands to you. When you come to the next one, which is the standard bar here. Now with the standard bar, it is basically a bar which has certain commands which are standard to most of the software. For instance, if you come here, there is a new there, which when you go to, let's say, Word, you will see new there. When you want to open a new document on Word, you see new there. When you come to the next one, you have open, right? That one also gives you access to an already existing document that you want to open. And so when you go to Word and other software, the same thing is there. When you come here, you have save, which is the diskettes from during the old days. We used to use diskettes in saving documents. Now they are in no existence again. So when you come here to, you have save, and you have now we have open cloud. Now we save documents on clouds such as Google. We have other platforms, Mega Sings and the Google Drives and what have you. And so maybe you have other documents there. Either you save it there or you open and then have access to them there. And so we have prints, which most platforms also do have print over the cuts, copy, paste. They are all there. Undo, redo, everything you see on this bar, they are mostly on other software. That's why we call it the standard bar. Now when you come here, that is the property bar. The property holds other commands as well. Now this is where you get to the first one. You see letter. You quite remember when we were commencing with the whole CorelDraw application, we punch in certain things over there in terms of customization of the interface and other things, and so we change it to letter, right? The paper here, we change it to letter. Now this is where it is on the property bar. It means any action that you take on the property bar will affect this one. But then one thing you have to recognize is the fact that we have toolbar also here. Now on this toolbar, any tool that you click, right, the property bar will change. Now if that tool doesn't change, it means that the first tool you pick, as well as the second tool, as well as any other tool, has the same property, right? And so for instance, if I come here, the first tool, which is in default, which is the pick tool, anytime you launch CorelDraw, the pick tool is the first to appear, which is also a default tool on CorelDraw. You see that it doesn't change the property. But when I come to the zoom tool, let's see what happens there. I click on it and I pick, you see, when I pick it. And also remember that any tool you pick, you will see an icon which represents the tool. And so it affords you the opportunity to use that tool. And so as I click, you see that it has changed to a magnifying glass icon, right? When I click the first one as the pick tool, look at it, it has changed. It means you've picked that tool. So recognize this, that any tool you pick is supposed to come, the pointer is supposed to change. If it doesn't change, it means you've not activated that particular tool. And so you see the property of this and then that of the magnifying glass, it has changed. So it means if you apply this tool, you can come and alter it on the property bar, right? Okay. Now when you come here, there are so many drawing tools here for you to use on the toolbox, right, as well as effect tools and what have you. And also when you come up here, you see there are numbers written on this bar. Now this is the ruler, which will aid you in drawing, especially when you want to arrange your works well. We have the horizontal and vertical ruler. This is the horizontal ruler. You click and drag and there will be a broken line, blue line, which is lining horizontally, right? And if you come to the vertical side too, you click and drag, you click, hold and drag, and you see another one in there. As I said, anything that you pick, now when you click on it, anything that you click, know that the property will change. It means anything you apply to the property is going to affect whatever thing that you do here. So for instance, I've picked the ruler here. Now if I want to apply anything to it, I come up here and then I change, let's say this one, the angle of rotation to, let's say 90 degrees or 45. It means it's supposed to go diagonal 45 degrees. I click and see it has gone diagonal. Now when you click on an object, it means you've selected that particular object, especially the broken line, and so you see that the line changes to what? Red instead of the usual blue that is supposed to be. So as you can see, it has changed to red. Now another thing that I want to also draw your attention to is this space, right? Now with this space, anything you do within this space, I call it the printable area. Printable area because any work that you do on this space, anytime you print, it will appear. But if you do it on these around it, know that when you print anything, it will never appear on the sheet that you. That is one thing you have to also bear in mind, right? And beneath here too, at the side too, we have the color palette. Now if you want to have access to all the colors that you are wishing for, this is where you come to the color palette. Aside the color palette, if you don't want a color, you go to the top here. Have you seen a diagonal line there? Then you take away the color, whether the outline or the fill. Now if you come down here, we have what we call the property bar. Now on the property bar, if you draw an object in this space, it will indicate whether the color of the object, and also if you color inside the object, which is the fill here, You see the nib of a pen here, and also a certain box here, right? Now this box indicates whether you filled in a color. The kind of color that you use in filling in is what will be indicated there. That's the outline rather. And then this one here, you can see a bucket with an ink or paint, bucket paint dripping off, means you are filling that space. If you draw an object, it will help you to know the color of the object, the fillings of the object. And this one, it shows the nib like a calligraphy pen nib, meaning it's outline. So any work that you draw which has an outline, this one will indicate it to show the kind of a color you will have over there. Now when you come here to, we have what we call the scroll bar. We have the vertical scroll bar. You scroll and then your document or your printable area will start also shifting. And then we have what we call the horizontal scroll bar here, down here, and then the vertical scroll bar. Here too we have the navigator. Assuming you draw and then this whole page, is missing, goes missing. This is where you use in finding that page, right? And so you click on it and hold, and then the whole space that you're working with will come alive within that space, that screen. That's simple like that. Now here too, if you want to increase the number of pages, you see the plus sign here, down here. You click on it, and then you can see page 2 down here. We have page 1, page 2. This is not like the Word documents whereby you click, you enter, and then it gets to another page. This one, you need to add page. That's why you have the plus sign here. And so you can see 2 of 2. It means you have 2 pages, and you are in the page 2. When you click another, it will be 3 of 3. You are in page 3. When you click the page 2, it is 2 of page 3 pages. When you click 1, it will be 1 of 3 pages, right? And these arrows, the one with a bar in front of it means end. So assuming you have 10 pages and you want to go to the first page, you click on that, the last page, you click on that, it will take you to the last page straight away. When you come here to the same thing and you click the last page, and maybe you want to come to the first page, and you come here, you can see that it is active now. You click on it, yes, it brings you to the first page. That's how it is. And these 2 knobs here, the triangles here, without the bar in front of it, takes you page by page in that gradual manner, page by page. So this is what I want you to know for the Corel interface. And if you want to close it, you have a symbol which looks like that of a multiplication over there. You click it, and then if you want to minimize it, you click on the dash one here so that it hides itself beneath your status bar. That's down here on the screen. And also, if you want to minimize it, make it smaller than the how it fits on this page, this one is where you click on. It's as simple as that. Now if you have other documents apart from this, not page but another Corel document that you want to add, you can click here and then open another one, and then you can see up here they are hidden here. This is the first one I created, chunks, and this is the second one I just created. Because I don't have anything here, you wouldn't see the changes. Now assuming I draw something here, now check this out, right? And then I want to go to the untitled page. I click on it. Have you seen? Now I'm on the untitled page. I click here, then it brings me to my usual one that I was exhibiting to you with 3 pages. Now the second one I created is brand new. It doesn't have 3 pages. It has only 1 page. And so if you want to add, you can add to it. But for now, this is the page I'm working on. So this one is irrelevant. If you want to add, you click on the plus sign there, and then you add to it. This is for the Corel interface. I hope you enjoyed every bit of the lesson that we went through. This is to usher you into the working space of CorelDraw. I'm hoping you make a date with me on our next lesson. Thank you very much for joining this lesson. Bye-bye.